Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Chase Corrington, and this is the Chase Corrington YouTube channel, where we seek to achieve and maintain happiness through enlightenment, and where we seek to discover the hidden truths of this reality we live in. And last video I was doing some quotes from a book I read, Karma Rules by Arthur Ball, A Guide to Inner Peace. I thought it was a good way to try to describe karma, explain some of the ideas behind karma. So we're going to get back into that. We're going to do a few more quotes from Karma Rules, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if we can find our spot here. There were some that were just so excellent, powerful. And I'll be honest, even though I speak about maintaining happiness through enlightenment, through a deeper understanding, through controlling our mind, all these different philosophies that there are, it doesn't mean that I'm immune or I'm perfect. I had a frustrating day, and I struggle sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, to control my mind and not react, with anger, because anger doesn't fix any situation, just makes it worse. I would say that nothing good comes out of anything bad, but sometimes disaster brings people together, so there is that argument. But as far as anger goes, I don't think anything good comes out of anger or frustration. So, just being honest, I'm human, ladies and gentlemen. Even though I preach these things, I struggle with them too, and that's when it's most important for us. It's to take advantage of the times when we're struggling, when we're frustrated, and dealing with frustrating circumstances in the world. That's when it's most important to put these philosophies and this knowledge, this understanding, this enlightenment that we're gaining into action. It's the best time to put it into action and really reprogram our minds, so that years down the road, when we're dealing with frustrations, when we're dealing with, these random daily struggles that we can go through, sometimes people don't mean to, and they're just getting under our skin. And down the road, after reprogramming our mind and doing this consciously controlling your thoughts and your actions, and not reacting but responding to situations, it'll pay off. It'll pay off in the long run, ladies and gentlemen, and it's paying off already. Alright. Now, karma. Karma's amazing. If you missed the last video I did, check it out. Maybe after this one, or before this one. Either way. But let's get into this. When we react, and this goes perfect with what I was saying, when we react to an event rather than respond, we're giving up our free choice. And I'm going to cut in right there. We're giving up our power. If we are gods, if each of us is divine, sovereign, and free, and we control our reality with what we think, if we were made in the image of the gods, however, if we are this power, and we have this power, then when we give somebody else when we let somebody else make us feel a certain way, see, that's the most interesting thing. And I hear people talk about it, is how we say, oh, they made me feel this way. They made me frustrated. I might have said it already earlier. But that's when we're giving our sovereignty away to this other person. We're giving them our power, because nobody makes us feel anything, ladies and gentlemen. We feel what we want to feel. You can argue, but it's just the truth. If you really don't want to be sad, mad, happy, whatever whatever emotions you can name, you can choose, and this comes back to controlling our mind, and takes a lot of work reprogramming our neural pathways over time, but we can choose. So we're giving up our free choice. So stop making other people your God. Be your God, ladies and gentlemen. Be your God. Be your master. Be your guru. All right. When we react to an event rather than respond, we're giving up our free choice. The second we let our instincts take over and we get emotional and are not in control of our actions, we will react, and that is dangerous. Anger is then in control, and this is exactly what I was saying. And how many good choices are made when we are angry? Powerful. I didn't plan this. This was an accident. How many good choices are made when we are angry? The only way for us to really use the free choice we have is to be in the moment and respond to the events of our lives. Until we have control of our instincts, our lower consciousness, we cannot respond, we will only react. Until we have control of our mind, ladies and gentlemen, our lower consciousness, the drunken monkey that's going all the time, we cannot respond, we will only react. And so growth, this is another quote here, growth is not always swift, but there will always be progress. Time is not a factor. We have an eternity to work these things out. We have as many lives as we need to learn. Time is basically part of the illusion. The best part of understanding this law of karma for me is understanding that the experiences I did not like are probably my most important and best lessons. So these struggles that we deal with in our life, these are probably the important lessons that we need to learn. And so hopefully by mastering our minds, we're not skipping over the lesson? No, let me go back to the quote here. Best part of understanding this law of karma for me is understanding that the experiences I did not like are probably my most important and best lessons. Powerful, amazing. The lessons that hurt us the most and are the most painful are going to have the biggest influence on how we think and feel about things and how our moral code develops. And so this is a mind-blowing understanding of karma. This is what I like so much about this view on karma, is that it's not about retribution, ladies and gentlemen. It's about growing through experiences, growing through experiencing both sides of an act or an event. So you can be the perpetrator, or you can be on the receiving end, and then you can be third party, seeing somebody else dealing with it, and so you gain the knowledge. Here's another quote, controlling the lower consciousness is the key to our happiness. Controlling the lower consciousness is the key to our happiness, ladies and gentlemen. Seek to achieve and maintain controlling the lower consciousness? Woo! Okay, here we go. So what do? We all have desires to improve our lives, and we all want a better life, no matter how good we have it now. The key is to learn to accept what our lives are at this moment, and to understand that with patience and perseverance, change is possible, ladies and gentlemen. Patience is the key. Our lives are always in a constant state of change. And that's so true. Everybody's trying to live. Everybody's frustrated about what happened yesterday, or what we're not going to be able to do tomorrow, or it's the future and the past. It's our desires that are connected to the future and the past, whether it's desirable, it's good, or whether it's not desirable, it's bad. And so, getting back into just living in the now, ladies and gentlemen. Just getting into the moment. There's no doubt in my mind that this is true. We pop in and out of the moment all the time, but it's really hard to stay there. And it's something, like I've said multiple times in this video, that takes practice, it takes patience, and it takes long dedication. It's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle, ladies and gentlemen. The point of being an observer is that we can then control the thought process. So when you separate from your thoughts and you become the observer, the point of being an observer is that we can then control the thought process. We can change channels and think of something different when there's a thought that we do not like. So just like you're watching TV or you're listening to a radio station, if a limiting belief comes in, oh, you're not good enough, or a frustration comes in, we can change the channels. And it takes work. But the goal is to be in the moment as much of the time as possible, so we can be aware of our thoughts, so we can control what we think about. Again, the goal of staying in the moment through meditation is to develop awareness, ladies and gentlemen. From this, we can develop control. Alright, let's choose one last good one here. Form demonstrates the current state of evolution of the conscious essence of the form. That's a deep one. Let me say it again. Form demonstrates the current state of evolution of the consciousness essence of the form. Didn't come out right. Form demonstrates the current state of evolution of the conscious essence of the form. Ladies and gentlemen, God is total consciousness. Whether you want to call it God, Source, the universe, we are part of God. And we are the children of God. Or we are the gods, ladies and gentlemen. We are God beings. And I'll leave you with that. We are God beings, ladies and gentlemen, and we can control our minds. And one day, we'll be manifesting the realities that we can already see in our minds. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you get value from the content that I provide, consider subscribing. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like this video, give it a thumbs down. Make your voice be heard. Doing that, and we can change the world. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be back in the future with some more interesting topics to throw your way.